Hello, my name's Jamie, and welcome to this next episode of the 15-minute modeling challenge. As I stated last week, I'm going to this week be working on an X-Wing. Got a little bit of reference, that's my reference. Literally just typed into Google X-Wing, grabbed a few images that sort of got some sides, got a top, a few different angles and stuff, so I can see a few different details that I can try to include. So that's there. And we've also got a timer. So let's switch over to there. And in 15 minutes, we'll have a X-Wing. Let's go. Time has started. Okay, reference up. Let's have a look. So, how is the shape of things? It's sort of hexagonal in shape. So, let's add an edge loop to the middle and scale it up in the X. And then scale the whole thing down in the X. And that's sort of how the body is shaped. So if we then scale forwards, scale that down, or extrude forwards and scale that down, that's kind of right. Maybe bring this out a little bit on the X wing. And then we will extrude forwards again. It's a funny nose piece, so we'll select all of this and extrude and scale. Scale in the Z and scale in the X. There we go. I'm just going to do a quick nope. Merge by distance. No, okay. Thought I had accidentally double extruded there, no, but I haven't. So the nose thing does sort of point more sort of down, something like that. Maybe the top piece goes more forwards, something like that. Oops, something like that. And then we'll bring this forwards, and it's sort of a pointy but also rounded piece at the end. And I feel like these should be scaled in the X, and then all of these parts scaled in the X a bit as well. That's looking similar. We've also got a extrusion in the top, something like that. There's a little bit of detail there. Ooh, getting some details in. Let's get to the rest of the machine. So we've got the main part of the X-Wing. It's sort of come to about there. Should be the cockpit. That looks about right. So bring that down a little bit in the Z. And bring this edge loop forwards along the Y. And the cockpit is fairly shallow. Okay, and then we've got the body of the machine. So past the cockpit, it's roughly half the length of what we've already done. So if we look at that, we can actually go into vertices, go in the Y a bit, probably, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4 blender units, and then that's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8. So about there. Maybe go a little bit extra. That's fine. Now I'm going to intend to keep things looking low poly rather than trying to do something too crazy, because I noticed in the pirate ship, I'm just going to cut in the cockpit shape here. When I did the pirate ship, I did notice that it was difficult to maintain a consistent look, and I want to be able to do that. So for the rounded parts, and what I'm thinking is, for the rounded parts, we'll have a let's have a look here. So let's do this. Select these. Go Alt E. Extrude individual faces. Alt S. No, Shift S. No, just S. SS. Nope. Okay, select this. Scale. Select this. Scale. just to the window pieces. Yeah, so I want to maintain a consistent look and have, for example, all of the random bits be nice and square. So let's set up the mirror. Delete these vertices. Delete these vertices. And add in a mirror. There we go. Turn on clipping. It looks fine. And then the rest of the main work is going to be building a wing and getting it into place. Now the wing is most of that back section. So let's add in a cube. Turn off clipping for a moment. Bring that over. Okay, we can turn that back on. And then flatten that in the Z. Come on. It shouldn't be too thick. Scale in the Y to get the roughly the right size. Maybe a bit less than that. Okay, and then it should move in the X. They're not super wide, these wings. Now the back end of the wing tapers forwards. So we'll do that by moving in the Y. Something like that. It's not a big taper. Maybe about there. We do have guns that will affix to the sides, so that will make things look a bit shorter. But that's the main body of the wing. So let's add in a cylinder. Now this defaults to 32. Let's go with 8, maybe 6 for that really chunky look. Turn off clipping and bring it over here. So we'll do those engines first. Rotate 90 in the side view, and then these engines probably that sort of size. Yeah, they're right up against the body. Bring that in there, and they extend along the whole bit of the wing, plus a bit more. They do seem to have smaller parts coming off the back, so something like this, and then scale it down. Something like that. That's looking all right. Now, I don't have a visual on my timer. Oh, there we go. 7 minutes. Okay, so we're halfway through. So we've got the main body in. We've got the wing in. We want to actually shift another cylinder in. G, X over to there. 90. And go to, I guess we'll shift S. Ooh. Will it be fairly chunky, but not too chunky? Something like that. I might rotate so the flat of it is able to sit on the wing just a little bit. Like that. And they take up the whole, pretty much the whole length of the wing as well. GY. And let's have a see how that's looking in solid view. Probably make that a bit skinnier. Okay. Oh, no, not that one. Alt S. Yeah, Alt S. Make it a bit skinnier. Something like that. G and Z. Out there. Oh, bring it up a little bit. I don't want it to be sitting in the wing. There we go. Okay. So then the front, the guns appear a little bit off the wing in the front. And then there's, you can do I to inset to extrude and scale really quickly. Bring that in. And then extrude guns down to probably about there. There is some detail around about here, which we can quickly add in. Extrude and scale, or Alt S. They don't have to be that big details, honestly. There we go. Oh, they're actually like, okay. Let's forget that for a second and try. Let's extrude. So I've just noticed in a different orientation, the detail is actually like a little claw thing that's like this. So I'm going to try and do that. We'll extrude that. Extrude again. Extrude forwards. And bring this forwards in the Y. And try to make it look somewhat curved. Like that. Add in a loop there. And a loop there. Not the best example, but it will do. Here we go, weird little cuppy thing. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to press LP to separate by selection. And then erase that. Shift D, R180. Turn the clipping to vertex. And clip. Well, not the clipping, the snapping. Come on. Snap to the right thing. You're not going to, are you? There we go. And merge by distance, remove 12 vertices, that's good. So now we've got that top and bottom piece of the gun, which is nice. And it does actually get really skinny from this thing. So we'll go like that. It's got little blastery doos. Up to behind it should be about there. And then from about there. Wireframe. So then we'll do another loop there and another loop there. Like those two. Oop. Okay, let's just select that one, scale it down to be a bit thinner. Select that one, scale it down to be a bit thinner. Okay, running low on time. I don't think I'm going to aim to have it super textured, but we will have it looking good. Control J to join those. Now let's do some detail on this engine piece. It's definitely inset a bit, like that. And actually, let's cheat. There is like a halfway thing sticking out, so we'll keep that. And we will... it's not really an easy way to add in a quick cube, is there? Clipping is off still. Oh, unhide. Scale it down. Okay, let's bring that into here. Okay, so there needs to be a vertical piece, something like that, that goes up to there. And that kind of matches the reference a little bit. I think, yeah, no, because we want, oh yeah, I want control over where that is. So let's add in a loop cut just in there. And then we'll bring this forwards in the Y like that. There we go. Beautiful. It's looking engine-y. Just looking at the details on the actual X-Wing as well. So this should go like this. Do another one just there. Go to edge, move it up a bit like that. That's what the shape is a bit more like. That's what the shape is a bit more like. And then this has got like a bunch of different extruded in parts. We can kind of cheat that by selecting all of these. Select that one. Do Alt E, extrude individual faces. That kind of looks a little bit like what it should be. So we'll keep that. And oh, we've got less than a minute. We need an R2 unit. So let's add in a UV sphere with, oh no, come on. 8 and 8 or 4. Yeah, there we go. We'll go to wireframe mode, scale it down, and then we've got a little R2 unit sitting there. It should be quite a bit smaller, although not quite that small. Sitting there, and then we've just got to duplicate these wings. Okay, so L, come on. Okay. Rotate a bit up. Okay, that's my timer. Okay. Literally Shift D, scale Z, -1, and then move it into place. And it's an X-Wing. Yeah? Something like that. Maybe move this wing in a little bit, just so it's intersecting with the body. Come on, you, select everything. Just a few seconds over. But yeah, I did not think I was going to have time to colour that in. But that's alright, don't you think? I think the only big issue I'm having is that I can't tell that there's a cockpit, even though I've modelled it in. So the only difference I would do is just extrude that in a little bit. And then we'd have to figure out solving the mirror. But yeah, just that little bit of detail where you can see the cockpit helps. We've got a little bit of detail in the front there. I would have liked to get some more like greebly type looking things on some of the wings, because there's a few. So I'm looking at this reference here, and there's panels and stuff on the bottom and little fins. That would be nice to have included, but did not have time. Yeah, we got the R2 unit in, we got the cockpit. It looks like I could have raised the top of the cockpit up a little bit. So this polygon, raise that up a bit, and then you'd need a edge loop behind it to bring that down. Something like that, a little bump. That's probably the only extra detail. And then we would move the perfect R2 unit that is not a low poly sphere into position. Let's do, what is it, cavity? Wow, that looks weird. World, there we go. Just makes the things pop a bit more. Maybe do a matte cap to have the ability to see what's actually happening. But that's an X-Wing in 15 minutes. That actually looks very much like an X-Wing. I think next time, I'm liking the spaceship direction. So I think next time I might do my own little custom spaceship. I've been actually watching some other people's tutorials and work on really high detail spaceships. So it'd be nice to try and imitate the sort of shapes and things that are going on, and maybe just do a bunch of random extrusions to get some details in. That would be fun. But for right now, an X-Wing in 15 minutes, there you go, that's how you do it. You've learned. I've learned. We've all learned. We're all learners. We're all smart children. Thanks for tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. Bunch of links in the description. The Blender file will be up on the Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. That would be wonderful. And until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye.